Good morning. This is Pastor Jeff, and this is the daily lectionary readings for Monday, June 14th, 2021. We have our three readings. The Psalm reading comes from Psalms 52. The Old Testament reading comes from Ezekiel 31, 1 through 12. And the New Testament reading comes from the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verses 11 through 18. Hear these words. First, from Psalm 52. Why do you brag of evil, big man? God mercy carries the day. Your scheme catastrophic. Your tongue cuts razor sharp. Artisans and lies. You love evil more than good. You call black white. You love malicious gossip. You foul mouth. God will tear you limb from limb, sweep you up and throw you out, pull you up by the roots from the land of life. Good people will watch and worship. They'll laugh in relief. Big man bet on the wrong horse, trusted in big money, made his living from catastrophe. And I'm an olive tree, growing green in God's house. I trusted in the generous mercy of God, then and now. I thank you always that you went into action, and I'll stay right here, your good name and my hope in the company of your faithful friends. Our Old Testament reading comes from Ezekiel 31, verses 1 through 13. In the 11th year, on the first day of the third month, God's message came to me. Son of man, tell Pharaoh, king of Egypt, that pompous old goat, who do you, astride the world, think you really are? Look, Assyria was a big tree, huge as a Lebanon cedar. Beautiful limbs offering cool shade, skyscraper high, piercing the clouds. The waters gave it drink. The primordial deep lifted it high, gushing out rivers around the place where it was planted, and the branching out in streams to all the trees in the forest. It was immense, dwarfing all the other trees in the forest. Thick rows, long limbs, roots delving deep into the earth's waters. All the birds of the air nestled in its boughs. All the wild animals gave birth under its branches. All the mighty nations lived in its shade. It was stunning in its majesty, the reach of its branches, the depth of the water-seeking roots. Not a cedar in God's garden came close to it. No pine tree was anything like it. Mighty oaks looked like bushes, growing alongside it. Not a tree in God's garden was in the same class of beauty. I made it beautiful, a work of art in limbs and leaves, the envy of every tree in Eden, every last tree in God's garden. Therefore, God, the Master, said, because it skyscraped upward, piercing the clouds, swaggering and proud of its statue, I turned it over to a world-famous leader to call its evil to account. I've had enough. Outsiders, unbelievably brutal, felled it across mountain ranges. Its branches were strewn all throughout the valley, its leafy boughs clogging all the streams and the rivers. Because its shade was gone, everybody walked off. No longer a tree, just a log. Oh, that dead log. Birds perch. Wild animals burrow under it. Our New Testament reading today comes from the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verses 11 through 18. Now, in these last sentences, I want to emphasize in the bold scrawls of my personal handwriting the immense importance of what I have written to you. These people who are attempting to force the ways of circumcision on you have only one motive. They want an easy way to look good before others, lacking the courage to live by a faith that shares Christ's suffering and death. All their talk about law is gas. They themselves don't keep the law, and they are highly selective in the laws that they do observe. They only want you to be circumcised so that they can boast of their success in recruiting you to their side. This is contemptible. For my part, I'm going to boast about nothing but the cross of our Master Jesus Christ. Because of that cross, I have been crucified in the relation to the world, set free from the stifling atmosphere of pleasing others and fitting into the little patterns that they dictate. Can't you see the central issue in all of this? It's not what you and I do, submit to circumcision, reject circumcision. It is what God is doing. And He is creating something totally new, a free life. All who walk by the standard are the true Israel of God, His chosen people. Peace and mercy on them. Quite frankly, I don't want to be bothered anymore by these disputes. I have far more important things to do. The serious living of this faith. I bear in my body scars from my service to Jesus. May what our Master, Jesus Christ, give freely be deeply and personal yours, my friend. Oh yes, and here ends our readings for the day.